Welcome everyone to What's Happening in Crypto, exploring all of the latest from the crypto world and beyond. Have we hit the bottom? Is this capitulation? Well, investor psychology is an incredibly important part of investing because behind every dollar, every Satoshi invested into the market, there is a person looking to gain a profit off of that. Even if they're running bots. Bots still have somebody that they're going to pay at the end of the day. This is essentially a great balancing act of fear and greed and euphoria and despair. And what we see represented in the markets and in the charts is the output of human emotion and financial transactions. So the question is, have we hit capitulation yet? Well, I think we're either there or incredibly close at this moment. And everybody really wants capitulation to happen because it's traditionally one of the last stages of the bear, well, at least before people give over to depression, for example. But the reality is we're not actually going to know if the price the other day, for example, was the bottom or if we do have new lower lows coming on. We won't know this until well after the fact when we can look back and go, oh, well, it was so obvious that the bottom was at $2,800 or whatever it might be at the end of the day. It's really impossible to call. And for everyone who is out there doing technical analysis, there are some people who do it better than others, but most of them will be wrong most of the time, even though some will be right some of the time. The real trick is to find a place where you're happy to get in and get out, and of course to be strategic in your movements in that way. And of course, hitting the bottom does not mean that we're immediately going to have some kind of moonshot where we go back up to 90,000 or 100,000 or $1 million overnight. No, we might actually be going sideways for quite a while in this post-capitulation phase. So don't rule that out or don't be surprised if it happens. We seem to have already gone through a lot of the key stages, though. Obviously, euphoria back earlier in the year, but anxiety, denial, panic. We definitely saw panic about a week or two ago as the markets went really quickly down. Denial might have been around the 6,000 mark, where we actually saw this nice sideways movement for quite a while, where the markets were trying to recover, but that might have just been human denial in the form of financial messages. Something to think about. But I really feel like we have worked through this denial stage. We have worked through the panic stage. And what comes next, of course, if we can believe the cheat sheet, is capitulation. And I feel like we might really be at the capitulation phase of the market. Look how many YouTubers are disappearing. Look how many Twitter personalities are disappearing. They're throwing in the towel. I can't make money anymore, or whatever it might be. And so they're going away. That's cool, I get it, for the people who are here for the good times. Well, the good times have come to an end. And that's a tough pill to swallow for some, at least in the short term. I imagine that a lot of these personalities who are throwing in the towel now will be back at some point in the future when the good times are back. Some friends to have, aren't they? I'm always here. I love the technology, guys. The price is amazing. You know, the price and the potential gains of cryptocurrencies have been life-changing for me. But when I see the technology, when I understand what the implications of that technology is, when I read the news every single day and go, wow, we could solve this with Bitcoin, we could solve this with blockchain technology, you have to realize where this market's going, but also the importance of the technology. And so this YouTuber's not going anywhere. Anyway. And of course, the media. Oh, the media. Those guys love it when the price of Bitcoin is down. Every naysayer that during the previous market struggles came out and said that it's all going to zero and Bitcoin's a big scam and a Ponzi and blah, blah, blah. Those guys are back again, and they'll be proven wrong again. And yeah, okay, past performance does not indicate future performance, but I honestly believe that this market is so incredibly huge and has so many exciting things to do for humanity that we'd be crazy to think that the markets will not go through another cycle where we get a big run up. The STO market might just be such a catalyst. Not to say that ICOs are completely dead, but obviously the glut of ICOs, and a lot of them being total junk, didn't help the situation. That has been a factor in what's happened to the markets. But the STO boom, that's going to be something completely different, as well as institutional investors piling in. So as capitulation seems to be setting in, what comes next? Well, anger and depression. I am definitely seeing a lot of all these emotions coming out, on Twitter or in the comment section here, or from other commentators in the space. So many people are coming out and being, aha, look how smug I am. I told you this was a big scam and it's all going to zero. Yeah, I know a lot of people said the same thing about the internet and cars and all that fun stuff when, they fell on tough economic times at different points during their history. There's a lot of parallels here, particularly with the internet, and I think that cryptocurrencies will end up being much bigger, or well, a big addition to the internet, will enable the internet to fulfill a lot of the promises that we initially had with the internet. What we have now with the internet is a lot of siloed, centralized services that only serve themselves, and that's not really the way towards a better future. Enabling people to be self-sovereign agents, now that's a compelling message. That's something that people can get behind. Most people, when you say, hey, go and use Facebook so you can make sure their quarterly earnings are up, that's not a compelling message at all. And you have to remember too that there's so much happening that as a short term, long term, I'm super bullish. Short term, we might be going through a bit of sideways action, but there are some major catalyst events that could happen that could see this jumping up dramatically almost overnight. That could be backed. That could be Fidelity. That could be an ETF getting passed. These could all be huge events in terms of actually pushing the price, to the moon, as they say. Maybe a big country being cut out from the U.S. financial system, or the U.S.-led financial system. That could be another big catalyst in a use case for a country to have to use crypto. And adoption is growing all the time, and in spite of temporary market down state, this is a huge industry that has got a very bright future ahead of it. But in the short-term view, we might be in for a bit more pain, or at least a bit more sitting on our hands and being very, very patient, waiting for the bulls to come back. Maybe the people who are out there calling for the $1,000 Bitcoin will be proven right, but I honestly think that's overly bearish. I feel like 3K, or maybe just a little bit below 3K, is where we're going to be bottoming out, and that moving forward, we are going to see new all-time highs coming in the coming years. It's only a question of, if you're an investor, how patient can you be? If you're an overnight speculator, this is a tough time for you. So I suppose it's worth questioning inside. What kind of Bitcoin investor are you? Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on if we have hit capitulation or not down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. You are super awesome. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to know when I put out a new video, you should hit the notification bell. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.